Mira Business FM. The sound of success.
This is Mira Business FM and it's the morning drive. So next on the program, it's a business that most people probably don't consider a great deal or really think about until something goes wrong. So imagine this as a scenario: a construction project stalls, or airport operations slow down, or backup power fails. The impact is immediate and it's potentially expensive, yet the industry responsible for preventing those failures rarely gets the attention when things are working smoothly. So this morning, I want to look at the often overlooked world of aftermarket services and power reliability, those systems that keep heavy equipment running and essential services online. So to understand how this works, why this matters, we're joined by Saleem Ahmed. He's the CEO of Dahbashi Engineering, which is a company that's spent decades operating behind the scenes to keep industries moving. Saleem, it's a pleasure to have you here. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
You're very welcome. So you run a company that does, among other things, aftermarket spare parts, servicing the heavy earth-moving equipment, reserve power solutions, that kind of thing. First question for you: why is this kind of business almost invisible when things are working? Because it's very much kind of in the background, isn't it? But when things break down, you are like your front page news, aren't you, Saleem?
Most people do not maintain their machines and they keep on running until breakdown. That's when they realize what we need to do. And when a breakdown occurs without the preventive maintenance, the damage is more than what normally it could have been if they have prevented it. And that's when the odd requirement takes time to get those parts, because normally the dealers don't stock.
Okay.
And in the aftermarket, again, it's very difficult for us to have that kind of range available to make those parts available. And when they go to the dealer, they don't find it. That's when they realize, oh, there is an alternate available. And the alternate is as good as the OE. It's only just the box that is packed is different. You throw the box in. You basically, when you buy the part from the dealer, you pay the price for the box, not really for the part.
Yeah.
So it's only in emergency that they realize when they can't get it something, they go around looking for the options, and then they say the options are available.
I mean, I guess it's reflected everywhere you go. It's not just, heavy industry, construction projects. It's all of us, isn't it? We think that, our ACs can run forever. I had a friend years ago who had bought a car. She'd bought it new and had never serviced it. Just hadn't done it, and had never had an oil change, and it was running on essentially no oil at all. And I thought, well, if you don't know that that's what you need to do, and it's not your thing, but it happens everywhere, is my point.
It does, but especially in the construction industry and all, most people are looking at a lot of other options, but not really taking care of the plant equipment. The plant equipment is, let's put it this way: most of the operators that are operating the equipment are not really trained. They just happen to get a license and they start working, and a lot of damages occur because of not knowing how to operate the machine.
Yeah, okay.
And that's where, when the breakdown occurs, the chain is affected, everything gets stalled, delays happen, lost time, trust, project delays.
And I'm guessing you get the call. It's right, call Saleem, sort this out. You get the blame for the project stalling as well.
It does. And also many a times when you fix one problem, an issue, the machine has not been maintained, just because you have already fixed that, something else occurred, they say, oh, your guys did that. But when it goes to the dealer, no.
Yeah, okay.
The dealer tells them, this is what your problem is, and they listen to
You've got to point the blame somewhere.
they do that. And again, the industry is not even looked at it. this industry is much bigger than what the dealer can offer.
Right.
Uh, People are all geared up to service this industry better than the dealers. The dealers have the attitude, take it or leave it. You have no choice. But there is a choice. But most people do not rely on the choice because of certain players who play dirty, who bring spurious good. Like for instance, I go and convince a major user, convert him to trust us and buy from us. All of a sudden, we then realize somebody through the back door has entered, supplied the spurious part, breaks down, lot of damages. They cannot offer any warranty. They do not offer any backup.
Mm.
You lose the business. They lose the trust in the aftermarket for a fault of somebody without their doing the due diligence, whether you should trust this company or not. On a piece of paper, a part number, a description, they look at the price. They don't look at what goes behind that.
Well, that's the case, isn't it? I mean, times are tight and, budgets are tight. Let's look at the cost a little bit more. But when heavy equipment fails or a power system fails, for example, what does that actually cost? I know you can't put an exact figure, but, there are a number of things, I guess, that come to mind. What does it actually cost companies, and what does it cost the wider economy when things like this happen?
It depends on the industry that it is. If it is like for a critical operations like an airport, if a major failure happens there, you just imagine what happens to all the flights, all the other services that they provide. If the same power fails, like for instance, in your own factory, the power fails, the whole factory gets stalled. The manpower is wasted, the trust is wasted, the delays for whatever you're producing has to be given. Sometimes, the cost of maintaining is relative less, but if it is overlooked, the end result is a huge damage to your reputation, to financially, morally.
Do you think businesses today are more focused on maintaining, existing assets rather than replacing them? Is that what you
It's
see?
a combination of both. It all depends on a project to project. There are certain projects they specify that you have to have so many years old machine. But majority of the guys are just looking at maintaining the old machine because it's more economical to run the machine, because the machine, if properly maintained, can work for over 50 years. We have got machines which are working more than 50 years. And those machines are more reliable than the newer ones with all the electronic slightest of moisture.
Easier to service,
Yes,
no
everything.
inbuilt obsolescence. Okay. Look, supply chains globally are, I was going to say they're under pressure now. Supply chains are always under pressure, whatever's going on in the world. But in terms of spare parts, availability of spare parts, quality of spare parts as well, and local servicing, are you noticing global supply chains under more pressure at this point in time?
Yes, it is. It's most recently because of the tariffs.
Right.
The reason being, most people are not willing to invest in inventories, fearing what happens if the tariffs are reversed. Because if they have invested in that inventory at a higher traffic, they're not going to get a refund, and they will not be competitive. There has been a disruption.
So it's made a big difference.
We have been fortunate enough that most of our suppliers are basically from Europe, so it has not really affected us as much as to many others who were depending on supplies from the other parts of the world.
Do you think, I mean, you deal with lots of companies, and I guess, you have to foster relationships with lots of companies in your business. That's a major part of your business, I would imagine. And you're here for many years doing this, so you have those relationships in hand. When you talk to companies, do you think downtime is considered a strategic risk risk rather than an operational issue. Do you think that's the way people look at it?
It has become that. It's just looking at a strategic risk rather than operational, because they are more concentrating, because every job today is timeline. They have to deliver. They are cost effective. And once you have a downtime for any reason, you have to get a replacement, and replacements are not just off the shelf. It takes time, depending on what type of a downtime it is, how serious that machine has operated, or is it only one, or otherwise you have to have multiple machines operating in that area to do that. It all depends.
It must be. We see so many different projects. I mean, just construction projects. Forget infrastructure projects. There is so much requirement for backup power, which used to be seen, I think, as insurance. Why is it now essential when it comes to transport or utilities or logistics?
It's no longer an insurance. Yeah, insurance was only thinking something would go wrong, but today you have to expect everything. There is things going to go wrong, and it's become essential part to maintain, make sure that things work as planned. You have deadlines to meet. You cannot afford breakdowns, and breakdowns are very expensive, and getting services and parts at times is a bit difficult, because you are in the line. It's not that people are just waiting with their tools to come to you every time that you call them.
Yeah, this is true.
There are many other people who have the similar problems.
It is join the queue, isn't it? Yeah. Let me talk a little bit about technology and data, because you've mentioned that some machines working 50 years, the old, well-constructed machines, a little bit less technology in there to go wrong, less software to have to write to feed them. But how have you found technology helps companies predict failures? So instead of reacting, you can look at real data that can maybe point you in the direction of you need to replace this part. How has that changed in your industry?
It has, because the technology has improved the way the information is coming out of the system, because you just plug in your laptop and you get the information of what is to be needed, what needs to be serviced, when it needs to be serviced. And if you follow those, your breakdown are minimum.
The problem is
they don't do it.
People don't follow them. Okay, I know. I'm asking you some very simple questions.
Yeah.
I don't know much about your industry, so
they don't do it.
So bear with me. But I mean, so it's the age-old people problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a people problem. They take things for granted.
Okay.
It's almost like that. When you're flying, you don't appreciate a smooth flight because you don't say anything to the pilot. But when there is turbulence, everybody starts blaming, and that is what remains in your memory. And the same thing happens with the machine breakdown.
Yeah, for sure.
It does. And if it is not repaired in time, the blame is all on to the person who are repairing it.
Okay. Yeah, well, when there's turbulence, that's when you want to hear that calm, measured, response from the pilot. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be okay. You want to trust somebody. Let's talk about standards and sustainability a little bit. When it comes to, I would guess quality standards are higher these days. Safety compliance is higher, certainly these days, than it was. Environmental responsibility factors into today's maintenance decisions. So, by extension, I would think we're considering all of those things, so there should be less breakdowns because we're on top of all those things. I'm thinking you're going to start shaking your head soon, because that's not what happens.
It's not happening, but what people need to really look at it, if you're looking at environment, if you maintain your machines, instead of buying a new one every 5 years or 10 years, you're just creating more garbage, more obsolete items.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper to maintain your own machines with the aftermarket industry rather than the OE. The OE prices are almost double, which makes it uneconomical for people to maintain the machines for a longer time.
Okay.
But if you use the aftermarket industry, basically aftermarket industries saves you cost, give you longer life, it's more economical rather than replacing. And the new machines have got a lot of electronics into that, and which does create a problem of its own.
Do you think sustainability has changed or is changing how businesses think about repairs and managing the life cycle of machines? How much impact has there really been?
Quite a lot of late, yes, people have started looking at that seriously, the maintenance. They have been regularly maintaining it. They have programs. They train their operators, they train their mechanics to make sure that things are taken care of as they should be, as per the original manufacturer standard. And also, they're not replacing as many machines as it used to be before. In the olden days, you needed one machine, they went and bought three.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But it's not possible financially, economically, it's not possible. You are cutting corners in every possible way to run your business as efficiently as possible, because at the end of the day, everybody looks at the bottom line. You're not there for public service.
Let's look ahead a little bit, Saleem. If you were to look, and if I asked you to look ahead and consider trends that we might see, that businesses, that policymakers should be paying attention to in your industry in the next few years, what would be your first thought that we should be looking towards, perhaps?
They should be looking at the options available rather than just the OE for their support. There are plenty of options available to prolong the life of the machine by saving on buying from aftermarket than buying from the OE. There is an option available,
Okay.
which is overlooked.
And that should be a policy. That
Policy.
should be okay. So reliability, maintenance, energy resilience are critical business issues. That much we can see. Is that the message that decision makers should take away from this conversation?
They should also take a look at it. Who is there in the market to support and what is their strength? Sometimes things go wrong. And if they go wrong, the people who are supporting them, have they got the capacity financially, manually, to take care of the need? You see, when you do an insurance, you don't expect anything to go wrong. But when it goes wrong, you're not going to buy an insurance from an unknown person. You'll buy from a known person so that you can trust that he will take care of when something goes wrong. Like in our industry, if a small part, which may cost about a dirham, and which, if that part fails, it causes a damage of at least 40, 50,000. You go to the company and say, okay, this part failed. He says, okay, I'll give you that part. Does it satisfy you? But he doesn't have the financial backup to take care of it. So we take care of that. If that part has failed, it's not that. Whatever the damages have been done has to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So that's what insurance is, and that's what we are.
You always get the call to mop up the mess, don't
Yeah.
you, and sort out the damage.
You just don't look at whose fault at that time. Get that thing fixed.
Yeah, okay.
Assess later on, your fault, you pay for it. Otherwise, explain to the guy what has happened, what did they do.
So you're used to those calls in the middle of the night.
Oh, yes.
Saleem, help!
We have, especially in our company, a quality control department, qualified engineers, which the other people in the market don't. We don't want to be just traders. You want something, here it is. No. What we sell, we back up. And this is not recognized. They only think that the OEs have got that.
I guess in your business, there are a lot of people that would feel the same way.
Yes, they do.
It's Been interested in talking to you. It's not a subject I know much about, but I've learned from you. Saleem Ahmed is the CEO of Dahbashi Engineering. It's been good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
My
It's the Morning Drive. This is Mira Business FM. A like, a subscribe is appreciated. Wherever you join us, wherever you find us, get in touch. Tell us what you think. Everything we do is available to listen and or watch again. Find us where you get your podcasts by searching Mira Business FM.